Hey everyone, it's your friend miziicz, and today we are going over the 5 things Halo Infinite needs to be successful. Halo is definitely one of the few games where I will always buy the new game when it comes out. It's the first game I ever remember playing back when I was like 3 or 4 years old, so keep in mind that I will have my nostalgia goggles firmly secured to my face. Halo is one of the first arena shooters that isn't just a Quake clone. Halo is a unique competitive first-person shooter experience with fair starts. In most shooters, if you want a rocket launcher, you just decide you want a rocket launcher, then spawn in with one. However, in Halo, weapons are earned. If you want a rocket launcher, then you need to run to the middle of the map and fight for it. Snipers are spawned with just one on each side of the map, so teams have to decide who should use it. Also, everyone spawns in with the same weapons. Teams in Halo can only use skill, map knowledge, aim, and teamwork to win the game. It made Halo the chess of first-person shooters. It's this fair start formula that made Halo the best-selling video game of its time. Bungie stopped making Halo after Reach, and 343 would develop Halo 4. This would be the first Halo game 343 would make. The community was hopeful that Halo 4 would be the game to return Halo to its former greatness. When 343 released Halo 4 with custom classes, skippable death timers, armor abilities, sprint, and no competitive ranking system, Halo 4 had hit an all-time low for the series. Even MLG dropped the game from the pro circuit. When 343 released Halo 5, it was a step in the right direction. Halo 5 limited the sprint capability, had non-skippable death timers, and no custom classes. They also added some new features that were well received. Halo 5 opted to start players with a pistol instead of a battle rifle or DMR. Everyone in Halo 5 now has to earn a battle rifle. The pistol is 5 shots to kill, while the battle rifle is just 4, so even a small advantage like that must be earned. Players can still sprint, climb, hover, and pound, so things weren't all good. The first gameplay of Halo Infinite is coming out tomorrow, which is why I wanted to make this video. These are the top 5 things Halo Infinite needs to be successful. Number 5. Competitive matchmaking system. A lot of competitive games have 2 ranking systems, your rank and your competitive rank. Your rank is normally just the total amount of experience you have accumulated through your time of playing the game, but your competitive rank is something that goes up and down with your skill level compared to other players. Of course, the competitive rank is much more difficult to calculate and is more difficult to implement. This competitive matchmaking system needs to be packaged with a competitive playlist. 343 could make the best competitive ranking system in the world, but if all ranked would be is just a big team battle match, then it wouldn't mean anything. In the past Halo games, it's been a 1 through 50 number, but it could be a tier structure like most games have nowadays. However, Halo Infinite needs to have some type of competitive ranking system. The competitive community for Halo 2 and 3 is what drove them to greatness. The competitive community for any game is like a multiplier in popularity. Without a competitive in-game playlist to draw players in and get started, it would be like trying to climb a ladder without the first few rungs. Most players aren't just going to start off by signing up for a third-party tournament. They need to be lured in with a playlist. Number 4. Basic movement. In the last few Halos, we've seen advanced movement ranging from jetpacks to hovering to ground pounding. Most players didn't like these features. That's just not what Halo is. More controversially, however, is the sprint ability. Sprint ruined the carefully calibrated combat mechanics of the earlier games. You used to have to lead your shots and quickly adjust your aim if you wanted to eliminate an enemy player at long range. Now everyone just moves too quickly and every weapon is a hit scan weapon. Advanced movement doesn't have to be completely gone with. In the MLG playlist of Halo 3, there are some jetpacks on specific maps. You can use the jetpack, but the drawbacks was that everyone would hear where you're at and you'd be an easy target. Sprint and thrust would be a great ability to fight over in the center of the map, just like a rocket launcher or invisibility used to be in previous games. Number 3. Cross-platform play. The arena shooter genre isn't the biggest, so making sure there is a healthy player base needs to be a big priority. A small player base is Quake's biggest problem. A lot more people would play Quake if there was just enough players to have a healthy player base. When the player base isn't big enough, you can't play the modes you want. The developer needs to rotate game modes because there just isn't enough people. This would mean that you could only play Shoddy Snipers or Infection or Griffball every other month because they're on a rotating playlist slot. A lot of Halo players from the last 20 years have switched from Xbox to PC, so having a cross-platform matchmaking system would allow a player base with enough players, even in non-peak hours, to have a good skill range and enough players to fill the less popular game modes. Of course, this should be a toggleable option, but I think most people would leave it on. Number 2, Forge Mode. 343 can only make a limited amount of content, so it is critical for the lifespan of Halo Infinite to have user-generated content. Most of the best new maps of every Halo game is made by the users in Forge Mode. Custom games are really fun and create a drastically new experience. It can turn this hyper-competitive shooter into a fun party game like Mario Party. Forge Mode also allows the community to modify maps to their liking. Maybe the map just needed different weapon spawns or starting points, or less grenades. The mode enables the community to rapidly adapt the game to the community's need and not have to wait for an official 343 patch. Since it took 343 3 years to fix the matchmaking on Halo MCC, they should probably just leave the map fine-tuning to the community. Number 1, launch in a complete state. The game needs to come in a complete state. We can't just get some bare-bone versions of the game lacking Forge Mode, competitive ranks, or only having 5 maps. It needs to have all the features of the game ready to go on launch. We can't just get the social playlist and the campaign at launch. If 343 think they can start with the bare-bone games and then upgrade their way to a complete title, it's going to be a bad time for Halo fans. The launch of the game is generally when it's going to have the most players, it's going to have its peak in popularity, then it's all about holding a fan base from there. All the features that I mentioned in this video need to be ready at launch. It's been 5 years since Halo 5, so I think it's reasonable to expect all of the features I mentioned in this video. I really want to see Halo Infinite succeed. I've been a Halo fan my entire life, and for the last few years I've been looking for an arena shooter to sink my teeth into. I tried playing Quake, but the player base just isn't big enough to find a game at all hours of the day, or to have a wide enough skill gap at all hours of the day. Thank you for making it to the end of my video. It really means a lot and helps out the channel. What would help even more is if you subscribed. Since you made it to the end of the video, I think you'd like my other top 5 video, top 5 problems with the Xbox One that the Series X needs to fix. This has been your friend miziicz, and I hope you have a good day.